Hello everyone, Matthew Watkins back again with another video, and it's another edition of the TV Sports News. There was some big news today surrounding the NFL in this country. Obviously the season is due to start in a matter of weeks. Will it go on time? It's tough to say, obviously because of you-know-what. But at the end of last season, Sky's contract ran out. They've been the broadcast of the NFL since 1995. Was today's announcement about them continuing? Let's find out. The answer to the question is yes. Yes, and yes again. There's a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, and a yes. 5 more years, a 5-year deal to broadcast the National Football League. It's pretty much going to be the same as to what we've been getting a lot recently, Thursday night football, Monday night football, Sunday night football, and we're getting there football night in America as well from NBC, Pro Football Talk. We're getting all the NFL Films programming, including Hard Knocks, which starts this Saturday. There's actually a few differences as well, a couple of additions, a few little things. It's the return of NFL Total Access. That's going to be returning this season, and it's also going to be the UK TV debut, I believe, of Good Morning Football from NFL Network. There was one big difference announced today, and that's from September through to February. Starting September 3rd, Sky Sports Action will be Sky Sports NFL. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week of NFL programming from September right the way through till probably a little bit after the Super Bowl. And this is the first time an international broadcaster of the NFL has collaborated pretty much with the NFL to launch a dedicated channel to the NFL, which is really groundbreaking. It's a big coup for us here in the UK, and it also for the people in Ireland as well. Like I said, this is a 5-year deal. It's a minimum of 5 games a week live. Obviously, we're getting NFL Red Zone, Sunday afternoon games of 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock slots, and they'll be exclusive, sadly. For those who are annoyed about Game Pass having those games blacked out, I'm afraid you're going to have to be dealing with that for the next 5 years. Personally, I ain't too fussed about that, but I know there's some people who are. Obviously, the playoffs, the Pro Bowl, and the Super Bowl. Obviously, we get the award-winning content from NFL Films, obviously Football Life, America's Game, I think the NFL 100 series as well, that's been on the Hard Knocks, as I mentioned, and also we're going to be getting some stuff from NBC as well, which obviously, due to the Comcast partnership there, obviously the return of Total Access and the debut of Good Morning Football, and so good, in fact, instead of Alistair Kirkwood, the managing director, I believe, of NFL UK, correct me if I'm wrong if that's changed, but we've actually got a quote, a statement from the Commissioner of the National Football League himself, Mr. Roger Goodell. And he said this quote: "Sky Sports has been a fantastic broadcast partner for a quarter of a century. This new 5-year agreement and the launch of a dedicated Sky Sports NFL channel will undoubtedly continue our rapid growth in the UK and Ireland. We are excited that our expanded partnership with Sky will provide even more NFL content to millions of UK and Irish fans." End quotes. And we've got a quote here from Stephen Van Rooyen, the CEO of Sky UK and Europe as well. He said this quote: "We are proud of our quarter-century partnership with the NFL and are hugely excited about launching a dedicated channel which will be a first for the NFL with an international broadcaster. Sky Sports NFL will allow us to take our customers even closer to the sport." Sky Sports has shown live NFL since 1995 and played a big role in growing the sport in the UK and Ireland over the last 25 years. Now, as a part of Comcast, we are excited about taking our partnership to a whole new level. Our viewers are passionate sports fans, and we look forward to capturing the drama of the NFL for another 5 years. End quotes. Also, they did say there'd be a bit more. I wonder what those are. But either way, that's the news, everybody. Now it's time for the View of the Hawkins, where I give you my take on the news. Yes, it's the View of Hawkins, so here's what I think about it. And one song I've been playing today. Now, if you've seen the advert for the last episode of Friday Night Lights, there's the David Hearn song, Run With Me. And obviously there's a lyric in there, look how far we've come. And that, I remember Neil Reynolds saying that on Sky Sports News today when it was announced. Just think 40 years ago when the NFL first, under 40 years ago, about 38 years ago, when the NFL first debuted over here. Or even back in the 70s when it was on World of Sports, when it was just highlights of the Super Bowl and the Rose Bowl. I'm not going to look into it. Correct me if I'm wrong if you were there in that time. Was it that stuff that they didn't think was going to catch on? Like log roll and Calgary Stampede. But just think, they're selling out London. Obviously there ain't going to be any London games to shake it, you know what. Every game is available within touching distance, and we're going to have a dedicated channel to the NFL. Sadly, it's not the NFL Network. I'm thinking that might have been the first choice, but obviously might have been some of the logistics that might have stopped it. I mean, I don't think the NFL provides an option like the Fox News channel still does. I mean, I was thinking that they're going to start showing college football as well, like maybe the Notre Dame games. I only say that because they've actually been doing a few stories related to college football on the Sky Sports NFL page recently. But then again, it's kind of all up in the air whether we're going to get a college football season or not. I mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, again, if we're going to be getting a season, obviously, Big Ten, Pac-12 have pulled out of their seasons or delayed them to the spring, I believe. Some other conferences, I think Mountain West have as well. A couple of lower-end conferences as well. You know, the lower echelons of college football have postponed their season. The SEC and the ACC, they're doing conference only, I believe. I believe it was the Big Ten that said, yeah, they've cancelled it. I mean, it's I was a bit disappointed, but I was so happy that, hey, we're getting the NFL's on Sky for the next 5 years. That's one thing I'm happy about. One issue this will provide, obviously, with obviously Sky Sports Action being Sky Sports NFL from September through to February, early February or first weekend of February, is that obviously that means there's Sky Sports Arena, which is pretty much for everything else, like the NBA, the darts, the rugby, and the GA, and I think the netball. Obviously mix and main event as well, but that shows everything, doesn't it? That's meant to show everything. I think it's great coup. It's great for us here in this country. Again, like I said, when it was just highlights of the Super Bowl and the Rose Bowl, I assume with some of that stuff on World of Sport, but they didn't think it was going to take off. Look how far we've come. I mean, from getting week delayed highlights of just one game, every game's within touching distance. They're playing in-season games in London and selling them out. We could one day have our own UK team. Just think how far we've come in the last 40 years or so. Man. I will also wish they would have I would wonder if some of the NFL Films program, I don't think this is directly NFL Films, but I would like to really see Inside the NFL. See if that's going to be on there. Obviously, the show on Showtime. I'd really like to have access to that. I hope as well that they do, when they actually are doing football night in America, that it's going to be the full, you know, obviously joined in progress the actual pre-game show, but a couple of times last season it was like, are they going to make the mind up? Are they showing the halftime show and the post-game show or not? Again, it's still great. I think another thing I'd probably say is I'm curious, to obviously as of late been showing Pro Football Talk live. I'm just thinking, will they be showing Pro Football Talk live, or will they be doing Good Morning Football live? That's one thing I would be quite curious. And obviously with the return of NFL Total Access, is that going to be live as well, or is that going to be taped away the next day? I guess we'll have to wait and see. That is going to be it for the video. What do you think about Sky remaining the home of the NFL in this country for the next 5 years? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if a free-to-air deal gets announced, which I hope it does soon, if it's a bit more long term, I will hopefully let you know. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. If you haven't, fair enough, no hard feelings. If you're brand new to the channel and you like what you see here and you want some more, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications to know whenever the hell I post next. Be sure to tell your friends how much of a great YouTuber I am, and to follow me on Twitter at Hawkins_MattUS and on Instagram at BigMattHawk18. But as always though, remember, if you need some cheer, have no fear, Big Matt Hawk is here!